a video for quesadillas, but I'm going to make them with pancakes instead because I haven't got pancakes is what I've got. And I've got some leftovers, and I kind of thought it'd be a nice way to use things up. So we've got some grilled onions, courgettes, and aubergines, and we've got some leftover chickpeas, and we've got some cheese as well. So it's about 200 grams each of the courgettes, aubergines, and onions, and then there's about 300 grams, no, about 350, 380 grams of chickpeas, and 200 grams of just cheap cheese. I don't think I'm going to put anything else in. No, no, I'm just going to, that's all I'm going to put in. I've made the pancakes thicker as well, so they'll. I normally get from one egg. I normally get 8 pancakes. So what I did do from one egg, I got 4 pancakes. So like twice as thick. So we just need to chop these up, just so they're a little bit easier to eat. And then we're going to combine everything together with the cheese. And I think what I might do, normally quesadillas are. I'm going to use 3 pancakes per quesadilla. So we'll kind of do one on the bottom, one in the middle, and then one on the top, and then it'll be a little bit more substantial. And I think with the chickpeas it'll make it a little bit more substantial as well. Obviously with the pancakes we'll just have to be a little bit more careful that they don't want to burn, but I think we'll be okay. They don't take much cooking, and these ingredients aren't going to take much cooking. Might have to put it through the oven for a little bit, but we'll kind of see. So I can think just wants to be a little bit smaller. I'm not sure how much this is all going to make. Like most of my videos, it's me just faffing and winging it through most things. Hence why. So I've kind of got a rough idea of how much of everything we need and what kind of price. So all the ingredients all together have come to £2.80 something, like 83 or something like that. So it's fairly cheap. So there might be enough for 4 people, but we'll kind of see. We'll kind of see. So that will just make things just that little bit easier to cut through when we cut through the quesadilla. So put that in there, put it in a bigger bowl. But the aubergines and courgettes aren't that cheap, if I'm honest. But it was, had them, and they needed using up, so that's what we're using. And then I think all that cheese, I think certainly 200 grams of cheese, probably a little bit more, because it's that, the cheese is going to be the thing that glues everything together once it starts melting. I can't wash that yet, because I might need a bit more cheese. And all the chickpeas, and it certainly needs a season. You'll think that's a huge amount of salt. It is, but I didn't. None of the vegetables are grilled. When I was grilling them, I didn't season them, because what happens is the salt wants to bring out the moisture of things, and if you bring out the moisture, it just means that everything gets really wet and starts steaming everywhere. So I didn't want that. So is that going to be enough cheese? I think we might need a bit more cheese. Yeah, I think another. I want it to be really cheesy. It's been raining all day, and I just think it's a bit miserable outside, and I haven't been out for a walk, so I kind of think I'm a little bit about it. So we'll put more cheese in, so it's a lot more cheesy. But that's mixed together, so it'll probably be like 300 grams of cheese by the time we're done. Yeah, definitely another 300 grams of cheese, and then we'll come back when we're cooking on top of the stove, and I'll show you how I'm going to build it, type of thing. But that's it for the moment. Right, so I'm going to start out with a cold pan because I'm worried that these pancakes are going to burn. So, pancake in the bottom. I've oiled and brushed the bottom of the pan with some oil, and then pancake on top, and then mixture. I don't think I'll be able to use. I think maybe, yeah, we'll just do the classic quesadilla. So it'll be half the mixture and 2 pancakes rather than my 3-layer idea. I don't think that's going to work. Although I did think about something else that's going to be a good idea for that. So half the mixture. Oh, my calculations are wrong as well, so I forgot to add the cheese in. So it kind of makes it a lot more. It's not. This isn't going to be it's not going to be a cheap meal, but we'll kind of see how we go. So there's about 500 grams of mixture, and then we'll put the pancake on top. I think, yeah, So we'll see how it goes. I think it'll be like 4 good-sized portions, but we'll see how we go. So that one, that, and then just slow heat to start off with. Maybe we need to just move that cheese back a little bit. We don't want the fried cheese. We don't want the cheese to melt out too much from the edge. That might be a little bit too. That'll be fine. Let's just wing it. It'll be fine. So, low temperature, washing hands and all that kind of stuff. Low temperature to start off with, and then we'll see how we go. So, low temperature that. So it's quite a small burner, if you can see that one. It just wants to be low and slow, and then we might have to finish off in the oven. But we'll see how we go. As always, faffing and experimenting. Let's get a bit of red that way. We'll see how it turns out. I have high hopes, if I'm honest, because I've done something similar in the past where I put cake mixture in between 2 pancakes and fried that, and it worked. It cooked the cake mixture. So we'll see how we go, but it should work. So it's getting there. So it's getting nice and crispy on the bottom, and if we lift up the top, we can see that cheese is melting around the outside. So I reckon we should be okay without putting it in the oven. I'm just a little bit concerned about how I'm going to turn this thing over without giving myself 3rd-degree burns through melted cheese. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide it out of the pan onto the plate, and then put the pan on top of the plate, and then flip it over that way. I think that will work. So carefully loosen it underneath like that. That worked quite well. And then cloth. Hope we don't need 2 cloths. I won't need 2 cloths. So put the pan like. We'll get this in my hand first, like that. Quick flip over, and then we should be. There we go. Excellent. So carry on the cooking process that was cooking for about. It's nice and crispy, isn't it? I think it's going to work well. Depending on the filling will be nice. I've already tasted it. It was lovely. Yeah, so it's cooking for about 10-15 minutes on that side. So we turned it over. So we'll give it another 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll come back, and then we'll have a see, and then we'll cut into it, and we'll see what it's like inside. But that should be okay. That'll be lovely with that. It is. I can see it, and it's certainly cooked underneath. I've just done a bit. It moves around pretty easy, so we'll just. I don't think there's any need to faff around too much. We can just put it straight onto the board. I think it should just. That's pretty straightforward. So heat's off already. Okay. So then I think. Yeah, half one's going to be a good sized portion, and I've done the proper costings, and it's like for all of it's £3.22, so 4 portions, because there's enough for another one certainly. Just like 81 pence per portion. So cut into it, nice and crispy, and there we go. Yeah. I'll move the camera so you can get a better look. And then we'll see. I'll pause, and then we'll come back when you can get a better look, because I can't really show you that angle. There we go. Pancake quesadillas filled with chickpeas and roasted vegetables. You don't have to roast them; they could just be sautéed in a pan. But there you go. And with cheese as well. That's a good amount of cheese. That's going to be lovely. Not a bad price. I'm sure I could make them cheaper. Obviously, it was the cheese. The cheese is the expensive thing, and the roasted vegetables aren't particularly a cheap thing either. But I'll have a think, and we'll revisit this recipe, and I'll make it cheap, as in like really cheap. Not sure how yet, but I'll have a think about it, and we'll revisit this, and I'll make it a cheap meal. But anyway, I think success. You can see that a little bit closer. Yeah, that's alright, isn't it? Can you see? Yeah, that's better. That's better. You know, with the cheese there, all wanting to fall out. Lovely, lovely. We've pushed that out, now it looks more effective. But there you go, lovely.